Hey everyone, got a new microphone. My last one was a piece of garbage. So here I am on a balmy, just kidding, extremely rainy, ugly day in Brea, California. This is the Roger Millikan Grand Prix. Formerly ran the other direction for many, many years. Jeff Prince, the promoter, decided to run it the opposite direction this year. So where we are right now in the race is coming down, going into 3 laps to go. The race was very fast at the beginning, lots of attacks. I had been in the leader's jersey in the series since the beginning of the race from the last race. Chris DeMarchi, the ex-leader of the race, was back from Hawaii with his full strong, not I shouldn't say his full team, but a lot of his big hitter guys on his team were here. And this course, this is an uphill section right here. The old direction was a lot of downhill with a punchy little uphill finish, and this year was kind of the opposite. So we crest a little rise here, and then it kind of dips down to the finish. So it was a pretty fast finish once you came out of the last turn. So the pace immediately picks up because now we're on a gradual downhill, and as you go to turn 2, then it drops down even more, which was the finish from last year. So with wet roads, you had to really kind of be careful on how you take the turns. You couldn't just dive bomb turns like the old days. So after you come around turn 1 here, then it drops down, and this is the fastest part of the course. And this is, not sure what the gradient was, but I would say probably 3%. And then you have a sweeping left-hand turn, the turn was actually really safe. It wasn't unsafe at all. It's so wide. I mean, the only thing that made it unsafe was the wet conditions, but you know, if you let a little bit of air out of your tires, which I'm running 25C tubeless, and so I would just let, you know, I think I was running 80 psi in tubeless. That's not bad. I mean, that's pretty normal. That's usually, I run 85 normally, so there was plenty of give on the tires, so I never had any issues all day, even when it was pouring rain. In the 35-40 race, it was pouring rain. So anyways, back to the racing. There's a break of, I want to say 10 guys up the road, and everybody from our team missed it. I did do a good, I've kind of, at this point, you kind of see me just giving up, and I'm just going to go for the pack sprint at this point, because up until this point I had been on the front, doing quite a bit of chasing. The CBS team in front of me, they have a guy up the road. Byron Davis is up the road. Monster's got a few guys up the road. I think they had 3 riders in the break. 2 of them were 50 plus, which I'm the 50 plus entered, but I still wanted the points for the overall, you know, so I had gone with quite a few breaks, and I just got counterattacked when my break got caught, and I didn't think that they would stay away, so I let it go because Phil Tensman and Chris DeMarchi were still with me. And then a second group went up the road, and I don't remember where I was or how come I didn't go with that. Totally my fault. I messed up. My guys were in the back as well, and we all missed it, so none of us went with that second move that went up the road. That was where we made the mistake, and I think, you know, had John Garbo, and so John Garbo had Pat Caro and Phil Tinsman were in the field with us. Right now, I mean, Phil Tinsman's on the front with Pat Caro, and they're just riding steady tempo. What they want to do is keep the pace high to discourage chase, but not go fast enough to where they're closing the gap on their teammates. And every time they go by the start-finish line, they get in a gap from people on the side, so they know exactly how hard they have to ride, which is perfect team tactics. And to be honest, I mean, the course was a little bit tough. You know, half of the course was gradual uphill or uphill, so That doesn't really suit me. So I don't have what it takes to go across to a break like that without some help, anyways. And my guys do come to the front at the end and do some work to keep the pace high, but at that point it's really not going to do anything because the brake is gone. So the only thing that they could do for me is just to keep the pace high and safe so that I could stay up front. Because even, you know, even getting 10th place, which is I think what it would have been, so there was I think 9 guys up the road, even getting 10th place is still going to get me points for the overall. Not a lot, but it still accumulates to what I already have, so it'll move forward. And the way that Jeff has the format of this series is you get to throw out 2 of your placings that you know. So if you get a bunch of firsts and second and thirds, but then you had one off day where you finished like 7th or 10th, you could throw that one out, which this one for sure will be my throwaway. So I just wasn't too worried about it. It was a really fun race and I enjoyed myself. So I had no idea how many guys were actually still up the road. So I think we're on belt lap here. Yeah, so this is the final turn. I think I jumped, yeah, so I jump early here. I just wanted to get to the last turn first and make it safe. And so I knew once I got over this crest, it was mostly a downhill sprint, so I just got on it. And I ended up taking the pack sprint, which I think got me 10th place overall. And I was still 3rd place on the 50s, so I still got on the podium. And I have no idea where the point standings are now, but I'll see you at the next one. Later.